You've always felt different, haven't you? Like you didn't belong in this world. Like something was off, even if you couldn't explain it. You looked around and wondered why no one else seemed to see what you saw, feel what you felt. That wasn't your imagination, that was your first sign. Since you were a child, you've questioned everything: rules, systems, people, reality itself. You felt things deeply, too deeply: pain, injustice, fake smiles. It all hit you harder than it should. And no matter how much you tried to fit in, something inside you refused. That inner voice, it never shut up. It told you to look deeper, go further, wake up. But the more you listened, the more isolated you became. People called you too intense, or too sensitive, or too much. But what if you were never too much, just surrounded by too little? You weren't made to follow the script. You were made to break it. You were made to see the truth and speak it even when your voice shakes. And the pain you've carried all these years, that wasn't punishment. That was training. Because the world doesn't shape chosen ones gently. It breaks them first, to rebuild them stronger, wiser, sharper. So ask yourself, what if none of this was random? What if you were chosen? What if your life has been trying to wake you up all along? In this video, I'm going to give you 7 powerful signs that you might be a chosen one. If even 3 of them resonate, then you're not crazy. You're remembering who you really are. Let's begin. So who are the chosen ones? They're not perfect. They're not born with superpowers. They don't wear crowns or glow in the dark. But they carry something different, something ancient, powerful, and often painful. Chosen ones are souls placed here with purpose. Not by chance, not by luck, but with intention. Their mission isn't always clear at first. In fact, most of them live years, sometimes decades, in confusion and darkness before they even realize who they are. They're not here to blend in. They're here to wake people up. Throughout history, they've existed under many names: light workers, star seeds, indigos, 144,000 prophets, wanderers. But the label doesn't matter. What matters is what they carry: truth, awareness, and a deep resistance to the lies that shape this world. Most chosen ones feel cursed before they feel chosen. Why? Because awakening is brutal. They don't get easy lives. They face trauma, loss, rejection, and betrayal early and often. But that pain is the fire that shapes them. It strips away illusion, burns off ego, and forces them to remember. They don't need validation. They seek meaning. They don't chase trends. They question everything. They're allergic to fake, to shallow, to silence. And no matter how tired they get, something inside keeps pulling them forward. You can't become a chosen one. You either are or you're not. But many forget, many fall asleep. This world is designed to keep them asleep. But when they wake up, everything changes, and now it's time to find out if you're one of them. Let's look at the 7 signs. 1. You feel everything deeply. You don't just feel your own emotions, you absorb the energy around you. Crowded places drain you. Violent news affects you like it happened to your own family. You can sense when someone is lying, even if they smile. This isn't weakness. It's sensitivity turned into intuition. And for chosen ones, emotional depth isn't optional. It's a core function. It allows you to detect what others ignore. But it also makes life heavy. People don't get why you care so much. But deep down, you've always known. It's because you were built to carry truth, even when it hurts. 2. You've never fit in. School, work, social events, family. No matter where you go, you've always felt like an outsider. Not because you didn't try, but because something inside you rejected the script. You've played roles, you've worn masks, but none of it ever felt real. While others chase validation, you crave meaning. While they stay asleep, you keep asking, why am I really here? That disconnect you felt for years, it wasn't failure, it was a sign. The system wasn't made for you, you were made to change it. 3, you've suffered deeply and survived. Trauma, loss, abandonment, maybe all of it. Chosen ones often live through what others would collapse under. And yet somehow you're still standing. You've been in the dark so long you learn to see without light. You've hit rock bottom mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and crawled out without help. That wasn't by accident. That was your awakening. The pain didn't break you, it burned off what wasn't you. Every wound became a doorway, every scar a lesson. That's how the universe prepares those it chooses for. You attract broken people and dark energy. People come to you for help, for healing, for energy. They see your light even when you don't. But some don't just take. They drain. Toxic relationships, emotional vampires, narcissists. You've dealt with them all. And worse, you've blamed yourself, but it's not your fault. Light attracts darkness, power attracts challenge. If you weren't powerful, they wouldn't come. Learn to protect your energy. Not everyone who needs you deserves you. 5. You see through the lies, the media, the system, the expectations. You've always sensed there's something false behind it all. While others accept, you question. While others follow, you feel resistance. You can't stand small talk, fake people, fake narratives. You spot manipulation fast, sometimes before it even happens. You've been called paranoid, crazy, or too intense. But in time, those same people come back and say, you were right. That's not a coincidence. It's perception. The chosen don't just live in reality, they pierce through it. 6. You feel called to something greater. Even if you can't explain it, something inside you whispers there's more. You've always had a strange sense that you're here for a reason. Not fame, not money, but something deeper, a mission, a pull. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's screaming, but it never fully disappears. You might not know the exact path yet, but you feel it. Like a magnet in your chest pulling you forward. That's not ego. That's your soul remembering why it came here. 7. You experience signs, synchronicities, and strange moments. Repeating numbers, dreams that come true. Déjà vu, sudden insights. Feeling like you're being watched, but not in a threatening way. You think of someone and they call. You say something and it appears. These aren't glitches. They're codes, wake-up calls. The universe leaves clues for those who are ready. And chosen ones attract synchronicity like gravity. The more you notice, the more it grows. It's how the unseen speaks to you when the world is too loud. You recognize these signs, don't you? Maybe not all of them, but more than a few hit something real inside you. And that's not a coincidence. That's confirmation. Being a chosen one isn't easy. In fact, it's one of the hardest paths you can walk. And there's a reason for that. You are targeted, not always by people you can see, but by forces you can feel. These forces don't want you awake. They don't want you questioning. They don't want you exposing the cracks in the system. Because the system depends on sleepwalking masses to survive. From the moment you start to awaken, to see the world for what it really is, the resistance begins. It starts small, A sudden exhaustion that no rest can cure. A creeping anxiety that wasn't there before, moments of self-doubt flooding your mind. These aren't coincidences. This is the battlefield where your spirit fights to break free. You will face people who don't understand you, who will try to pull you down or convince you you're wrong. They may come as friends, family, colleagues, or even strangers who challenge your beliefs with mockery or hate. Sometimes these attacks are energetic and invisible, leaving you drained, confused, and isolated. Other times they are outright sabotage, pushing you into fear and silence. But why? Because your awakening is a threat to the old order. The powers that control the narrative, the puppet masters behind governments, corporations, media, fear those who wake up. They know an awakened mind cannot be controlled, cannot be bought, cannot be silenced. Your very light threatens to expose their lies, their manipulation, their power. That's why you might feel unseen forces working against you, trying to confuse you, exhaust you, stop you from moving forward. But here's the truth. Those forces are proof that you are on the right path. You are causing disruption just by existing in your truth. Every challenge you face is a test. Every attack is an invitation to rise stronger. You are not alone in this fight. Many before you have walked through the fire and emerged as warriors of light. The key is to recognize the attack for what it is. Not a defeat, but a call to armor up, to deepen your connection to your true self, to protect your energy fiercely. You must become a fortress, unyielding, resilient, and clear. Because the moment you stop fearing these forces, you start to own your power. And that's when true transformation begins. Waking up is not a switch you flip. It's a storm that shakes your entire being, dismantling everything you thought you knew about yourself and the world. The moment you start seeing clearly, your old life no longer fits. The people, the places, the routines, they all feel like a cage tightening around your soul. You'll begin to feel a growing distance from those you once trusted. Friends may call you different, weird, or worse, too much. Family might struggle to understand the shift in your energy and mindset. You might find yourself isolated, misunderstood, and walking a path few can follow. But that loneliness isn't a punishment. It's a signal. It means you're stepping beyond the surface of life, beyond the noise and distractions that keep most people asleep. Your soul is expanding, and sometimes growth demands solitude. Emotionally, you'll experience waves of intensity like never before. Moments of profound clarity mixed with deep confusion, periods of peace that suddenly give way to storms of anxiety or sadness. This is the cleansing process. Old fears, limiting beliefs, and hidden wounds rise to the surface to be healed or released. Physically, you might feel drained, restless, or disconnected. Your body is recalibrating to hold higher frequencies. Sleep patterns change, appetite fluctuates, even your senses sharpen. You're no longer just a physical being, you're awakening to your multidimensional self. Spiritually, the world opens up in mysterious ways. You might start seeing signs, hearing messages, or having dreams that feel more real than reality. The veil between worlds thins, and with it comes both wonder and fear. This stage can feel overwhelming, but it's crucial. It's the rebirth phase where your true self is being forged. The old you, the one shaped by fear, doubt, and conformity, must die for the new you to rise. And as hard as it gets, there's a powerful truth underneath it all. You are becoming a beacon. Your light grows stronger, drawing others toward you, those who are ready to awaken, those who need your guidance. This is the price of awakening and the greatest gift. You are no longer asleep. You are alive. If you've recognized yourself in these signs, if this path resonates deep within your soul, then it's time to take intentional steps. Being a chosen one is not just about awareness, it's about action, growth, and protection. First, protect your energy. Your sensitivity is a gift, but it also makes you vulnerable. Learn to say no to people, situations, even your own mind when it spirals into doubt and fear. Create boundaries. Limit exposure to negativity, toxic environments, and energy vampires. Surround yourself with people who uplift and understand you, even if they're few. Second, cultivate daily practices that ground and center you. Meditation, breathwork, journaling. These are more than habits. They are lifelines. They help you connect to your inner guidance, filter through the noise, and rebuild your energy reserves. Find what works for you and make it non-negotiable. Third, embrace your mission, even if it's still unclear. You don't need to have all the answers. Start small. Share your truth, create art, speak your mind, help those in need. Every step forward is a step toward awakening your purpose. Trust that clarity will come as you grow. Fourth, heal your wounds. The pain and trauma you carry are part of your story, but they don't define you. Seek healing through therapy, energy work, or whatever resonates with your soul. Healing is not linear, but it's essential. The lighter you become, the brighter your light shines. Fifth, connect with your tribe. Finding others on this path can be life-changing. Whether online or in person, a community that sees and supports you will remind you that you're not alone. Sharing your journey strengthens your resolve and expands your perspective. Lastly, remember, this is a journey, not a destination. You will face setbacks, doubts, and dark nights of the soul. But every challenge is an opportunity to rise higher. You were chosen because you have the strength, wisdom, and heart to carry this mission. Stand tall, protect your light, keep moving forward. The world is changing whether you see it or not. The veil is lifting, the old systems are cracking, and more souls are waking up every day. You are part of a vast movement, a silent army of light stepping into their power. This is not a coincidence. It's a cosmic shift, a spiritual revolution. And you are at the heart of it. You've felt the loneliness, the pain, the confusion, but now you stand on the edge of something greater. The path ahead is challenging, but it's also filled with hope, love, and unimaginable power. Remember this, awakening is not a burden, it's a gift, a chance to rewrite your story, to heal not only yourself but the world around you. You don't have to do it perfectly, you just have to do it authentically. Rise above the noise. Trust your intuition, speak your truth, live your purpose. Every step you take lights the way for others who are still lost in the dark. The time is now. The awakening has begun and you are the spark. So ask yourself, are you ready to embrace your destiny, because the world is waiting for the chosen ones to rise?